Here we go. Ready?
Ooh, you record for school, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, here's the first question. What are the most important qualities an effective leader should have?
The most important qualities an effective leader should have.
Yep.
Well, you know, the most important qualities an effective leader should have are four foundational characteristics: integrity, vision, courage, and passion. Integrity, because that is essential for any leader to truly be effective with their followers. Because if their followers don't believe in them, if they find in any way that that leader has broken, their commitment to themselves and others, then those followers are not gonna follow for very long. And so integrity, meaning you're the same person wherever you go. The best definition of integrity that I've found is, you're the same person wherever you go, no matter if you're at church or whether you're at work or whether you're at home, your character doesn't change.
Yep.
So integrity, number one. Vision, number two. You got to have a vision for the future, for whatever you're leading. And that assumes that you have mission statement and objectives and all, and goals and things, but you got to be able to have a vision and communicate that to your followers so that they know where they're going. Because otherwise, again, at some point, a leader is going to look around over their shoulders, and if they don't have integrity, vision, and then courage, meaning they got to take that first hard step and that second hard step, and whenever things get tough, the leader has to be lead by example, be in the front, when times are difficult. And then having passion. People want to follow somebody that not only has integrity and a vision and steps out with courage, but has passion about what they're doing. And so, that's where a lot of people kind of confuse charisma with passion. Passion could be a quiet passion, an intellectual passion, or it could be, sometimes a cheerleading passion. So those are the four essential characteristics, I would say, of an effective leader, or qualities.
Okay. What are the qualities you want in an employee and why?
Number one is work ethic. There's nothing more important than that work ethic. Someone who's willing to put out, their best effort. Because it's hard to teach or train or manage effort if somebody doesn't come with some type of work ethic that they've learned. It takes a lot longer for them to be productive. And then self-discipline is so important. People that have discipline, and it's ingrained in them from earlier experiences, whether it's parents or the military or school, whatever helped them with that discipline. And now it's internalized and becomes self-discipline. So important, because that gets you to work, not just on time, but early, and make sure that you finish your projects, finish your assignments. And then communication, so important for a leader. It's kind of assumed in those characteristics, qualities that I gave you, but especially when you're given, your vision to your employees or your followers. But communication goes both ways, and so it's important for an employee to be
still with me?
Communication, I think the ability to, and confidence to be able to get up and speak, whether that's in a meeting or whether that's one-on-one with their boss. But communication is essential. So, yeah, so work ethic, self-discipline, and communication.
Okay. What is the importance of trust in leadership?
It's of utmost importance. It's of utmost importance. It's kind of I would say, trust is the currency. I think that's the word I would use. The currency for leaders, because if you don't establish that trust, if you don't put trust in that bank with your employees, with your followers, then again, they're not going to be around for very long. And that's a ongoing process of developing trust, and sometimes, something happens and breaks with your employees or your followers. But if you put enough currency in that bank, in that trust bank, then hopefully they'd be able to forgive you and continue moving forward with you as a leader. But it is of utmost importance to continually build trust between your employees, between your followers, if you can, on a daily basis. That's why I think it's so important to have physical presence with your employees. It's hard to build trust over Zoom calls or over the phone. So I hope that organizations continue to have human contact, personal contact, physical contact, and we don't move to an office format that is always
Yep.
on Zoom or online.
Okay. What type of leadership style do you feel is preferred?
Well, I love servant leadership, meaning you lead by example and you take care of your troops. I learned that in the military, that if you don't do those two things, you're not going to get very far as a leader, especially in difficult situations.
Yep.
And that goes back to trust being built up, so servant leadership, I think is so important. People respond to that because they know that the leader is willing to do whatever it takes and is willing to not just tell people what to do, but to do it themselves. Whether it's picking up trash, on Main Street when I was mayor, and people seeing me do that, and hopefully that inspired them, encouraged them to do the same thing. Or whether it's admitting when you make a mistake. Those are, I think, examples of what servant leaders do with their employees, with their followers. Again, leading by example in the little things, as well as being respectful, and respecting others, and making sure that if you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves. That kind of mentality goes a long way.
Okay. Question 5. Are there any other tips you have on being an effective leader?
I think listening skills are so important for leaders.
Very
and what I mean,
important.
active listening. That you can be able to ask good questions of your employees after you're listening to them, because some people just nod their head and they'll be thinking about something else or on their phones. So truly listening to your employees. And one way I did that, an example of that is going on walks. Walk meetings sometimes are more effective and more productive and faster than sitting meetings. you can have that one-on-one time, and the blood flowing, and it's just something about being out of the office when people, maybe more informal, they feel more able to have a conversation with their boss, with their leader when they're out on a walk. So I have gleaned a lot of information by taking lunch, in formal settings or going on a walk, and just asking them about themselves, and asking them what they would do differently, if they were in my position. And so I built up rapport and trust with employees by doing some of those informal meetings, and listening to them in their hearts, and finding out what they truly care about as an individual and as an organization.
Okay, final question. In what areas would you like to improve your leadership?
Oh man. I mean, we can always improve on communication, whether it's writing or speaking. There's always room for improvement there. Being direct and succinct, and I would say patience. It's when I was CEO of Path to Life, the nonprofit, for 7 months, I would find myself, not being patient enough with some of the employees that are minimum wage workers and don't have a high school education, and so it's just so important to be patient, have enough patience, and that requires time and effort, and giving yourself as a leader room to be patient. And that means not for example, not booking back-to-back meetings, because if you're just meeting over and over every hour, not giving yourself some room to breathe, or to go to lunch, get away from your desk, and just get your mind cleared, it's harder to be patient with somebody. And I found out as mayor never to take a call at 5 o'clock at night, because especially with your constituents, they're going to complain because nothing good or not
Yep.
much patience left after 5 o'clock at night. So push that meeting off till next Monday, or have a weekend off, or take a night off, and call that person back in the morning instead of calling them back at 5 or 5:30. And so, patience is something that is always good to improve upon.
Now this, you're done. This question is
That's
from
it.
me. Did
All
you
right.
like being mayor?
Yeah, man, I love being mayor. I love representing, problem solving, decision making. Those are the three for
Nothing,
elected officials.
nothing like
Those are
being
the
the mayor of your own town.
Yeah, my hometown. You know it. You've heard me say that, man.
Yep.
And
In
I
that
loved
time.
it. I loved it representing. I loved being involved in decisions that are going to last, my lifetime and more, in improving our city. And but the politics I just hated it. I hated the
Yeah.
politics, whether it was a power struggle between the city manager and the mayor and the city council members or whatever. I just I didn't. I just wanted to serve. I wanted to serve my city and my hometown.